All right, you guys, welcome back to We're Talking Tea. And this episode is going to be strictly about Shamea and Porsha. This is after the episode 14, season 17, episode 14. I still have my same drink of the night from episode 14. It's the Hennessy, the strawberry Hennessy. It's strawberry puree with Hennessy and simple syrup. That's it, because this episode was a doozy. So just to finish off episode 14, it comes in where Drew brings Dennis into the conversation, and then Shamea uses this opportunity to say, well, Porsha, Dennis told me that you have a problem with Pilar being around me and Gerald. Why would you feel that way? And Porsha was like, bitch, we not friends. I don't want anybody that's not my friend to be around my children. And because I have certain things going on, I totally agree with what Porsha's saying. It is what it is. Regardless if you're family, friend, whatever. You don't fool with me, you are not about to be around my kids. Because I don't need you saying certain stuff to entice them to hear things, say things. No, it's not happening. You are not entitled to my children. Period. When you end a friendship with me or end a familyship with me, you do not have access to my children. Period. So moving on. So then you have Shamea and friendship. Shamea and Porsha friendship. I think it's just it's like no holds bars. Everybody just start going in. Them two just start going in at each other. And so Porsha was saying, Shamea said, you had no problem with talking about my mom. You're always talking about my mom, always talking about my mom. I didn't see what Porsha was talking about her mom. The only thing she mentioned was the whole daycare situation. And it wasn't Porsha that mentioned it. I thought it was Miss Diane, Porsha's mom, that mentioned it. Not so much Porsha. And this was last season. She was just saying, watch the people that carry the belt. She's talking about Shamea. And so then this season, Shamea was like, no, you talked about my mom, but you didn't talk about what your mom did. Your mom tried to sleep with my father, knowing my mom and my father was married. And so that was that. And Porsha was like, no, ma'am, you will not do that to Diane. I don't play about her. Let's talk about your mama trying to sleep with your uncle. She said, since we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Your mama tried to sleep with your uncle. And then Shamea was like, oh no. She was going in. She was like, my parents, side note, she was like, my parents have been married 50 plus years. How dare you say that about my parents? Well, maybe your mom didn't tell you that part. You know? So I just feel like when it came down to last season, Shamea shared so much information with Kelly and with Angela. And that's why Angela had ammunition to use against her, where she used the friendship as a situation. But Shamea kept on saying certain shit about Porsha, and Angela was like, don't sound like she's a good friend. And she started saying, oh, well, maybe she wasn't a good friend. But Porsha still felt like she was being ambushed last season. So she already knew how to play the game. Not saying that you wasn't a good friend, but she was just trying to keep the friendship solid. But you allowed other people to bring you to where she didn't want you to go. Period. So that was all last season. And while they were sitting at the table, Porsha was like, at the end of the day, I have love for Shamea. She was like a sister to me, but I don't know this person. And this person that was in front of me looks just like my ex-husband, and he had the devil in him. So she was simply saying Simon was evil, he had the devil in him, and Shamea was showing the same signs. So I don't know what Shamea have going on. I really, 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 really hoped that their friendship would make it through this. I really did. But I do think Shamea is just trying to find her own way. And she's using this show. She's just she's grasping at straws, just trying her best to make it. And I don't ever want to disrespect a woman when it comes to her marriage. But I also feel like Shamea is just too comfortable with saying certain things. When you're married, baby, you have to watch what you say. And I think you sometimes go too far when it comes to your marriage and saying certain things. But nevertheless, that's just my opinion. That's my thoughts. I really hope that they could be friends. But I do think this episode, which we're going to still see the continuation of this whole little fiasco feud next episode in episode 15. But I think this right here, Bravo just waited for the perfect moment for everything to just boil over. And it did. It truly boiled over. And it was only one person that went to Shamea's defense. And it was Kelly. And why Kelly followed her out? Because she living in Shamea's house. Her townhouse. So she didn't have an option but to go and be with her in that moment. But yeah, Shamea has taken a lot of strays this season. She really has. But I think a lot of that stuff was brought on by her. If she would just be truthful and honest about everything that's going on, you wouldn't be catching strays for other people. So that's my take on the friendship with Shamea and Porsha. It's a continuation of episode 14. And I'll see y'all for episode 15. So yeah. Y'all have a good night. Bye.